Monday, week 1 of February, we finally entered the second month, and it's episode 6 of TNA in 2010, the Second Wrestling War. We've got the Impact Championship Special. 3 hours special for tonight. So, I'm not going to be showing you Explosion, because that is very much going to be dark matches. We're going to take up that Explosion time and have a 3-hour episode of Impact for the Championship Special. The two pre-announced matches are Angelina Love and Velvet Sky versus Taylor Wilde and Sarita for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships, and Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. We are back in Florida. We're in Tallahassee. This is going to be a great show. It's a long one because it's 3 hours. So let's get straight into it. And it does kick off with Eric Bischoff. Basically comes out, cuts a promo. Welcome everyone to a championship special. A special 3-hour edition of Impact. We've even changed the name. We even changed the name. Look. Impact Championship Special. We're back in Florida for only the second time since this save started. We haven't left the Southeast yet because it's the only place we have any popularity. I don't want to be doing these shows in front of 500 people. That's modern TNA, modern Impact. So we're using the Southeast to get big attendances, and then it'll build up everywhere else, hopefully. But Bischoff welcomes everyone to the Championship Special, and as the main event will be, of course, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles with a 60-minute time limit. And no matter what time that match starts, we will go with that match until the end of that match. We've been given that extended broadcast. The networks are happy with us. I know, which is ironic considering I've been talking about how crap the ratings are, and that's why I'm doing this. So the networks are trusting us until this match is over. It's a 77 rating. Great start to this show. Of course, Mike Tenay and Taz on commentary. And the opening match for this championship special sees the Amazing Red defend his X Division Championship against Christopher Daniels. The match kind of set up last week on Explosion in the last episode. But Red picks up the win with the Hurricane Rana driver after Frankie Kazarian hits Christopher Daniels with a chair. So that's pretty good stuff. We're going to turn this off into a Christopher Daniels Frankie Kazarian feud, which will probably lead to a triple threat at the pay-per-view. There'll be Kazarian, Daniels, and Red at the pay-per-view, which I think is a great X Division match. It feels very early TNA, which was when TNA was at its best. Red was penalised for stamina in an 18-minute match, which wasn't slow built, but does almost kind of give Red a ceiling. A 65 rating, though, from Daniels, and a 55 from the Amazing Red. Gets a 63. And we introduce Hogan's protege, his new trainee, Rick Apoc, who, of course, you all may know as Victor of the Ascension. Well, let's just say he's going to be the next Hulk Hogan. At least character-wise, but let's have a bit of fun with this. Gets an 86, which is great for his debut. He's then going to go straight into a match. And it's obviously low because he's very low pop and very young at this point. But Rick Apoc squashes Dr. Stevie, tapping him out. He hasn't got Hogan's moveset yet. That will come in. And Hogan is at ringside for him. So Rick Apoc gets a 19, a 42 for Dr. Stevie. This is pretty good, actually. This is pretty good, and we are going to be pushing Apoc with Hogan by his side for reasons. Yeah. Totally not an in-joke from 5 years ago. Totally not. 20 rating, though. Mick Foley is interviewed backstage, and he picks AJ Styles to beat Samoa Joe in tonight's main event. That's his prediction. Gets an 80 rating. It's an easy way to get a Mick Foley promo because I don't want him to wrestle much, but it's tough to find stuff for Foley and Flair to do. That's why I'm going with the Hogan Protege option. But I don't want to do the same storyline with Foley and Flair. But I'm sure something like this is a great way to get a Mick Foley promo on the show. Gets us a great rating. An 80 rating is one of the best ratings we get for stuff. Well, except for the Hogan promo earlier, really. But a great promo from Foley is always good. Next match, a 6-woman tag. As Amy Dumas teams with Molly Greenwald and Candice Michelle to take on Alyssa Flash and the Blossom Twins. And it is, obviously, the former WWE girls who pick up the victory. Amy Dumas pinning Hannah Blossom with a DDT. And it is Dumas who is by far and away the best knockout in this division. 64 is insane. She shines in this match. She's head and shoulders above everybody else. I do think we need to start putting the pieces in place to let Amy Dumas go for the women's title. Well, the Knockouts title in TNA, of course. 47 rating. That's pretty good darn stuff. Tag team match as Sting and Jeff Hardy take on Scott Steiner and Cody Deaner. And Jeff sprains his ankle, because of course he does. So, starting a storyline with him as a tag team, of course, one of the earliest matches of him teaming, he injures himself. But he picks up the win, he fights through, and he's the one who hits the Swanton Bomb, which is insane on a sprained ankle, to pick up the win. Deaner was obviously the weak link. He was in this match to take the fall, because we actually don't have that many heels that aren't already in storylines. So finding people for Sting and Jeff to feud with is tough. 62 though, not too shabby. And Jeff Hardy does sustain his sprained ankle. I have already spoken about that, D-Lo. We then we're in the middle week for the pay-per-view build, so we do need to start getting some matches announced. And this is the first one we're going with. Kurt Angle versus Desmond Wolfe. Against all odds. Basically, Wolfe attacked Angle last week. Rather than doing a match this week on this big special, we're going to have them have the promo. And that is going to be... Yeah, that is going to be one of the big matches at Against All Odds. I think that's got a chance to be a great match. I think we are starting to solidify Wolfe as a main event talent now, which is great. I'm happy with that. So this is, I don't know where we go from here, but 69 rating, good stuff. Singles match as Black Machismo Jay Lethal defeats Homicide. Again, a match kind of built on Explosion last week. It's a 42 for Lethal, a 35 for Homicide of the World Elite. They don't click at all, which is a shame, but it's not too shabby. But a 42, it's a mid-card match. It's the X Division guys, and that's without them clicking. If they'd clicked, we're probably looking at 45, 48. So I'm pretty happy with that match. I can't look at that and complain. And he is here. Eric Young cuts a promo. Talk about Nakamura. It's like, why am I even bothering with this? He's not here. He's never here. But I get sent out every single week to go out and trot about this match, which apparently we're having Against All Odds, which is going to be the match Against All Odds. It's going to be Nakamura versus Young. But he is here. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out. Young obviously looks terrified and he gets hit with the Bomb-I-Yay. Gets a 59 rating. Nakamura is obviously a great hand to have. The IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He's only here because it's a special. Otherwise he would be in Japan. But 59, good stuff. Tara, the women's champion, has a non-title match against Madison Rayne. Picks up the win, hits the Widow's Peak. 58 rating, not too bad. 56 for Tara does show that, yeah, Amy Dumas is in a league of her own on this show. Oh, she is the best knockout by a mile. So she's going to eventually be going for the title, but Tara is still pretty strong with that 56. Gets a 58 overall though, not too bad. Madison Rayne has a lot of stamina issues with this, which is a shame, because I do like Madison Rayne. And the tag titles on the line, and it is the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, who pick up the victory over Taylor Wilde and Sarita when Angelina Love pins Sarita with the lights out, and they win the TNA Knockouts tag team titles. Angelina Love's up there actually with Tara for one of the best knockouts with a 57. Gets a 56 overall, which is great stuff. Angelina Love's obviously an amazing heel. And yeah, but other than that, it's a pretty good match. The women's division, we are really building. Yeah, we are really building now. 56 rating. We get this progress. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll be able to say that the Knockouts division is really good. It is obviously going to be a slow process, but that's part of the fun of this game, isn't it? And the main event goes 43 minutes. AJ Styles defeats Samoa Joe with a surprise cradle. Inside cradle, and AJ Styles makes defense number 2 of his TNA World Heavyweight title. 75 for Styles, 70 for Joe, 75 overall, because we had Earl Hebner refereeing and Terry Taylor as the road agents. The best of the best. Both have insane star quality, both have great momentum. Obviously AJ doesn't have the great gimmick at the moment, but Joe does. That's a bonus as well. Joe's stamina, but to be honest, I'm not going to complain about his stamina in a 43-minute match, which isn't even slowly built. This is just fast-paced, pretty much the entire match. So I'm not going to complain about stamina. But after the match, because we're not going to end it on a roll-up, Samoa Joe just starts beating down AJ with a chair, screaming in his face that this isn't over. Because it's not. That's how we're going to build to the big match, probably with a stipulation against all odds. Gets 71 rating. Next week's the Go Home show. Wow. And what do we get? It's a 69. Nice. I think that is our best Impact rating. So, think of the big stories on this. We've got Christopher Daniels now feuding with Frankie Kazarian. Probably with Amazing Ren involved. Hulk Hogan has a new protege, Rick Apok. Sting and Jeff Hardy sprained his ankle. Yeah. Amy Dumas is amazing. We knew that. Kurt Angle versus Desmond Wolfe against all odds. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Eric Young against all odds. Angelina Love and Velvet Sky are the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And Samoa Joe is pissed that he lost to AJ Styles. What a show. As I said earlier, I'm not going to show you Explosion on this one because it's already been a very long show with a 3-hour special. It's going to be long. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.